So my question to you, let's talk about digital IDs a bit, Rick. You know, we've heard lots. I know that various provinces are looking at it, federally looking at it. Let's speak specifically about Ontario. So what exactly is a digital ID and what is the status? You know, what should we be concerned? I mean, timelines. I know they wanted to roll this out back in 2021. Here we are in 2022. They haven't said a lot about it in terms of timing. So what's your understanding? And why don't we just start with the first question? So why does government feel that the digital ID is important?
Well, they'll sell you on the advantages of digital ID, where you don't have to carry and worry about your passport. You don't have to worry about your driver's license, your health card, those types of things. I questioned the Premier in question period back, perhaps about a month or so ago, a little over a month ago. And I asked him directly. Of course, he punted it to to his associate minister of digital ID or digital government. And of course, I didn't get a proper answer because my biggest concern was this. People are very, very concerned. My health records are my business. They are nobody else's business, just like everyone else. However, the government overreach, once again, said, well, if you want to go to a ball game, you want to go to a hockey game, you want to go to a concert, you have to show proof that you're vaccinated. Excuse me, I'm now showing some person, at a gate what my health records are, that I've been vaccinated. Well, again, I've been injected. I haven't been vaccinated. Well, of course, you know as well as I do, I have not had that. Now, my point is that I then questioned, I said, well, will one's health records be on this digital? They danced around it. And they wouldn't tell us. So again, for example, if your status is on there and you say haven't had your third booster, now here we are in the long-term care, and with some people, we're looking at a fourth booster, a fourth shot. Well, come on. Again, I think this is tremendous government overreach. They're putting way too much information on this thing, and it needs to stop. And my party, the Ontario Party, is vehemently opposed to digital ID.
So my question, I guess what you're saying is if you use your health card for a specific service, that's one thing. But when you start connecting all these things together, now people have access to all your information, not just health, but your driver's license, maybe parking, all the things you talk about. So that's maybe the greater concern, is the lack of privacy over time because of these things all be interconnected.
Yes, and I believe too that with technology advancing at the lightning speed rate that it is these days, is technology good? Yeah, it is good, but it's got to be used for the right purposes. And I think that there's the danger that, and we've seen this at the federal level and even at the provincial level, where in fact it could be used for devious reasons. And of course, then that is nobody's business. And I don't want all my personal information on a cloud somewhere where someone who is tech savvy can go up there and pull down anything and everything, where they know everything about me, from my wife, my how long I've been married, my kids, my grandkids, what kind of car I drive, driver record, the whole thing. Not necessary, in my opinion.
Well, and these things always start off as voluntary, right? Always, and that's where it leads to, first voluntary and then required. So any idea, timeline, implementation? Obviously, this was supposed to roll out late last year. There's some other glitches with other things, and as technology is being developed. We got about a minute left, so any ideas on the current timeline for implementation?
Well, I recall that the Premier stated that we're looking at the end of 2022, where a lot of this will already be implemented. And that's a very scary thought for many, many people.
All right, so any final thoughts for us? We got about 50 seconds left, just in terms of where we're heading as we move down this path in terms of government overreach, et cetera.
Well, you know what, again, when we talk about government overreach, the one thing that really concerns me is the failure on mainstream media to, in fact, report what I call the truth and the way things really, really are. This is what I really appreciate, yourself and what you're doing, Dean, simply because you are what I would call the alternative media, and you're getting the facts out there. You're asking the challenging questions. People need to be more informed. And of course, currently with mainstream media, they're not getting it right now. So again, I'm very, very concerned about a lot of this. It's interesting how, since I kind of went after the mainstream media back, maybe a couple of months ago, they ignore me at the
Rick, that's all the time we have. Thank you very much for joining us on the show today.